Tracy Carter is my co-host, and I'm Quinn.
Oh, Quinn, pardon me. Quinn, pardon me.
That's good.
Quinn and Tracy, pardon me. Right on.
Yeah, we used to have a third, but he quit last week on us. So.
What? He quit the band?
He quit the band.
Here's the thing. Who breaks up with people like us? You don't. I mean, seriously.
Well, and come on. Yeah. Well, and who doesn't have time for a fun podcast?
I mean, we're a breath of fresh air. I'm telling you what. So I don't know. He's going to miss us. Let's just be honest. He'll miss us.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck him.
Hell yeah. Next week he'll be dragging his ass back in and going, God, I should have stuck around for this thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he'll be back. He'll I bet it'll be he'll drunk dial you first. So that'll be the first thing that happens.
Yeah, I can see that totally happening. You must know him.
No, I know me.
That's awesome.
DB, you're a funny guy. You know that? You are a funny guy. It's nice to meet somebody else who loves to be funny, who is funny, and who loves to make America laugh. So it's nice to meet you.
Hell yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I think comedy, I think laughing, I think it's all really important, and I think a lot of people take themselves way too seriously and take everything way too seriously.
Amen.
Oh yeah, we're living in a world like that right now.
Yeah. If we have,
but I'm also someone who could fly off the handle too about this irrational shit. So
me too.
Yeah.
At least we have some guidelines, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome back to the You Went to Basement, episode 86. I'm your host, Mighty Quinn, with my lovely co-host, Tracy Carter.
Hey.
Coming to you from the armpit of Utah, the Uinta Basin, a small stop out here in Nowhere Land. I would like to introduce our guest. This guy is a legend of DJ radio broadcasts and has been rocking out with his number one finger out since 1996 professionally. He's currently so badass that he can DJ in multiple states at the same time and streaming live on iHeartRadio. Danger Boy, a.k.a. DB, a.k.a. Patrick, welcome to the Uinta Basement.
Whoa.
There you go. We
nice.
We boosted you up for today.
Yeah. I mean, your name really doesn't need that much, but, we just thought we'd give you some hype.
Well, I appreciate the studio audience. Thank you all for taking time and being here today.
Yeah, I got them backed up on the old road there.
Yeah.
Nice.
We can't find a place to park, but we made it work.
So
are you familiar with the Uinta Basin?
Not a lot. Not very much. You guys, we talk paranormal stuff here a lot, right?
Yeah, Skinwalker Ranch is really close. It's probably a mile as the crow flies from my house.
Right.
Dude, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Well, oh my goodness.
Come out and visit.
You know what? I really want to, but I'll tell you, this is dead serious. So I'm sure you're aware there was a news story recently, and by recently, I mean just the past couple months, I want to say. And again, I'm sure you're far more aware of this than I am. But a news story about there were some like FBI agents or federal investigators, something of that nature went out. There were two agents in the story, went out to the ranch to do a little bit of investigating, and obviously they don't live anywhere near there. If I'm not mistaken, I think they were like back DC way, but they started after they investigated the ranch, then went back home. They started having paranormal experiences at their, different, separate, respective personal residences, like Wolfman type people. So I'm fascinated by all of that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's real.
It's putting us on the map out here.
It is, and I mean, we grew up here, and so we all have our little stories about like just weird experiences and things you can't explain. But there's just an energy out here. I think a lot of times you're just like, this has to be real. It's very spiritual out here. People wouldn't think it is, but it is very spiritual out here. We have a lot of places where you get out of your car and the hair stands up on the back of your neck. I mean, we all went driving around drinking when we were teenagers, and it's like,
that was just to get lucky,
yeah.
though.
We'd get out and to go, do the little bathroom break, and girls got to go around the back of the car, and the boys stay up in the front. And it's like, there's times I got a little bit scared. I was like, oh, come on, let's hurry, let's get back in the car. So yeah, it happens. It's real. It's real.
The scary thought is we've actually got video on our tailgates now.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm so glad I'm not that anymore. Thank God.
No, it's a growing thing out here. There's like a park that they put up with an ATV ride that borders the property to where people can camp and spend the night and get eerie and tell their ghost stories. But I don't know what I believe in it yet.
It's hard to decide.
How often so let's say I'm able to talk my wife and my kid into it. How often do people who are out there just like camping or, I don't know, like tent camping, whatever, but people just visiting? That's what I'm trying to say. Visiting, do people actually see, like, I don't know, lights in the sky that seem creepy or supernatural? Or how often do people actually see stuff or think that they see stuff, just like recreational visiting?
I would say, like, the only thing I've seen anything of it is when they put lasers in the sky around Halloween of last year. They were trying to open a portal up, I guess, and they were doing some pretty cool shit. But
I think it's kind of where you're at, too, though. So my boss's house is right by Skinwalker Ranch, okay? And so he works a ton, and so he's not home a lot, but his wife is home, and she has seen some crazy stuff, and I totally believe her. She's seen some stuff in the sky, some lights in the sky that she cannot explain, and she'll send videos on her phone. She's like, what is this then? And she's freaking out. And so, I can't really answer that question with a for sure, but I know that, there's been a ton of people that I know that have had some kind of experience, whether it's see something, but I've more, in my experiences, it's feel something, like you're out and about and then you just feel something and you're just like, this isn't normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, that's scarier because I don't know which way to run,
I try not to get too psyched out. Sometimes I get called out at night out in the oil field and it's out in the middle of nowhere landed. And so I can't get too hyped up for what's out there, but you get your mind rolling and you can put yourself in a world of hurt.
You really can. You can.
My brother-in-law has land right next to it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I have not seen anything, but I watched the show.
Yeah. Well, so what's the general consensus there in the community? Is it aliens? Is it werewolves? Is it demonic? What poltergeisty? What? Give me the temperature of the locals.
I feel like, so we're on an Indian reservation, you know that, right? We're on the Ute Native Indian reservation out here. And so it's like, I think a lot of people are kind of divided on what it is. And so, but honestly, I think it's more of spiritual type stuff. It's more, I don't think it's aliens. My opinion's not aliens. My opinion would be that if I've heard people speak enough, I've heard more things of it's Native American and type, it's like a skinwalker is kind of, from my understanding, it's just an angry spirit.
Okay. So maybe the indigenous people that are, buried or traditionally lived there are unhappy with maybe the current situation or, something like that.
It could be anything, to be honest. But then we've had a lot of sighting of alien type stuff too. There is. And that's all over Utah. I mean, like you get it down into Moab and things like that. You'll see the paintings like that are on the rocks that are like really old, the hieroglyphics and stuff. But we have that here too. So I work in a video game arcade. And so half of our redemption is alien stuff because people eat it alive out here. So it's hard to say if it's aliens or if it's not. It's just something you kind of got to come out here and experience. And that's what I tell people. I don't know what to tell you. It's just that something that you probably want to come out and experience and see if you really experience, because it'll probably change your life a little bit.
Yeah. So back when we were in high school. Oh, go ahead.
No, pardon me.
No, back when we were in high school, they had a place called UFO, and that's where everybody'd go and smoke pot
And drink.
and
A
drink,
lot.
yeah. And it's not far from the Skinwalker Ranch, but
Yeah.
now we know why it's called UFOs because that's where the sightings are.
Well, I had a girlfriend and I, we were out there, and girls go pee in pairs. You know we do. That's how we roll, right? So we go walking off and we go together. And I'll never forget, she come running to me and she looked like she was ready to just cry. And she's as white as a ghost. And she's like, we're going now. And I was like, what? You know, I'm drunk. And I'm like, you're fine. You know, quit crying. But she still swears today. She's like, I don't know what it was, but I've never been that scared in my life. So...
Is there someone out there in the kid? Did she ever tell you what she saw?
She didn't see anything. She just felt it. She said she felt almost something like something breathing behind her. Like she could feel the breath on her neck. And then she said, I'm done. She goes, and I have to go home. I peed myself a little bit, Tracy. And I was just like, I'm sorry. But I don't think we're going home. We can't sneak back in till 3 a.m. So we're staying, you know. I'm that supportive friend. I was but she was scared to death. And she'll still say that that's how she felt.
Is there a Uinta Basin? Is there like a Travis Walton type character, like staple in the community out there, like someone who's been abducted, or like who's the head grand poobah of all things weird and an alien out there?
Quinn?
So to be honest with you, they don't let anybody on that ranch unless it's getting filmed.
Yeah.
And I mean, Post Malone's been out there. He came out and
Posty.
Yeah, he got to see it. But a lot of the people, when I watch that program, is people that are from here.
Yeah.
And it's funny to see him acting. You're like, oh, look, he's playing this shit out. You know?
Yeah. My mom and dad are like, oh my gosh, I went to school with him. You know, it's like the people that are on the show were legitly community members that lived here.
The grand poobah of all of it would have to be probably one of the Native Americans. It's like the medicine man out here.
Yeah.
He's actually talked on it. But back in 1997, he was on the news talking about the different dimensions and the phenomenon that's going on there. So, we're actually more unfamiliar with that property than people that are on TV. Or not on TV, just out of town.
It's kind of always been really secretive.
Yeah.
It really has been.
So then how does it feel with the people that live there when they come out, like for groceries or whatever, just interacting in the community? Is it all just real standoffish and weird?
I've ran into Tom Winterton at Ace Hardware in town, and he just acts just like nothing happens, you know. And the two managers, they go and have beers with my son-in-law, you know, and but they don't want to talk about it because it's pretty much they're under contract.
Yeah. So we don't hear a lot of it.
Yeah.
You know, like my dad. Go ahead.
They're under a TV contract?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the hush agreement, you know.
I've tried getting him on the podcast. Just come hang out with us, man. Let's sit down and let's bullshit, you know. And they, we're not going to talk to you.
You know, and I don't really try to talk about it a lot either because I totally respect the native culture that's out here because I think it's so beautiful. Like who they are and what they represent is absolutely beautiful. Like when they have powwow and they sing and dance at powwow, you can hear it for miles away. And it's just like, you can't imagine what a beautiful sound it is. And it's like, if that's kind of part of their religion stuff, that's just not something I've really gotten into because I don't want to disrespect anybody in any way. But, and they don't talk about it a whole lot either.
No, they're real secretive. And from tribe to tribe, it has different stories, and they call things different.
Yeah.
And like the Skinwalker's actually a Navajo curse. It was cursed up. The Utes and the Navajos were at war at one time, and that's why they brought the Skinwalker in.
Yeah.
Dude.
Shapeshifter there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, there's a couple people I know, like, so my dad used to hunt and fish prominently in this area, my real dad, and he's had some pretty scary experiences. He actually was up above Roosevelt in another area, and he was out hunting in a place where there was nobody else, but he also heard native drums out there too. And he's like, I know that there was people playing drums there, Tracy, and I'll never forget that. And he said it scared him so bad he ran back to town, and he didn't go back to the area for a long time.
Is that so? Well, we know that like the Little Bighorn is haunted. and we know
Right.
that that's happening.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know. So is that what your dad's thinking? Ghost drums out there?
Right. 100%.
Spirits.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Right.
So crazy. Imagine how pissed off indigenous people ghosts are.
Right? Because we're a shit show, you know?
Good God, you ruined our shit.
We've ruined everything, you know? Yeah, you're right. 100%.
Let's pump the oil out of this earth here.
Yeah. And then litter and just be stupid. I mean, let's count the ways we are dumb. So, yeah.
Well, dude, I love Native American people. I feel the same way that you do. My grandfather, some of my earliest memories in life are some of these books that he kept. He lived in Colorado, and he had just beautiful, beautiful art in his house, and all these picture books about Native Americans, like the tribes that were in those parts of Colorado.
Right.
And it's always just, I've always been fascinated with it, and I have been up to the Little Bighorn, and it is so beautiful, and there is so much mystery surrounding it. I think it's cool that they don't tell us shit. I mean,
do too.
fuck up.
Amen. I do too. I'm like, you know what? They're like, you don't deserve it. And we don't. So I respect it. I do 100%. And any little bit that they show me, like, I kind of keep that to myself because I do. I respect it just like you do. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. It's taken me a few years after living here actually to bond and say, you know what? They got a good thing going.
I mean, just because their basic morals are just so simple and they live with such a simplicity and just family value, like they don't let anyone go in their family. Like they are all there for each other, and I could not respect that more. It doesn't matter if you are wrong or if you are bad. They still open their arms up. They're like, you're part of this family for life. And it's just beautiful because you don't see that in other cultures. You don't in ours.
Well, I don't pretend to be an authority about it, but I definitely love the culture, and I love the art, and where they're holding on to what secrets they got. I get it. Don't say anything.
Right.
They're actually having their powwow on Saturday.
Oh, it's so cool. Yeah.
That's going to be fun. I bet the food's great.
Oh, the food is amazing up there. If you've never had Indian tacos, oh man, you're missing out.
It's fire. It is fire.
Oh, you're killing me.
It's fire. And then and everybody dances. Every age will dance.
Yeah.
And you see these little kids get out there, and they are just little. Like we're talking 3 years old, and they dance like their dads, and they dance like their moms, and it's like a God-given gift, and it is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen.
There's a world competition for that.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
If you listen to Mark Winterton's new episode on his podcast this
Nice.
week, he interviewed a Native American.
Yeah,
and
I will
He's a
tune in.
world champion dancer.
I can't even fathom because some of the men I've just seen here dance or just listen to drum. I'm just like in awe.
I had
I'm just
no
like,
idea.
You're so gifted. It's so dope.
Yeah, competitive sport.
I had no idea that was a thing. Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a thing.
I learned last week. That's it. I'm still learning.
And I'm the city girl. Come on, Quinn.
Well, so basically, how did you get the name Danger Boy?
Well, I didn't. I want to be really clear. I didn't want it. I didn't want it. So when I graduated, I got into radio when I was finishing up high school in. I'm not even going to say the year, but I got so I got into radio as an intern. I say that in the air quotes, and which was really just free radio labor back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And when I finally, and I tried to just be charming and friendly and quick with a joke and a light of your smoke and make sure that everybody knew that I wanted to be on the air. And one day, the powers that be, the program director, gentleman at the time, came to me and he says, "Hey, in a nutshell, we'll put you on the morning show, and we'll call you Danger Boy." And I was like, fuck.
You're like, okay, fine. I'm getting punked, but
Not
whatever.
that there's anything wrong with it, because there isn't, but it was a very generic, gimmicky morning show kind of moniker It was at the time, and I imagine it's even more so now. But and the guy just said, well, like, we're calling you this or you don't have the job. And I'm like, okay, DB it is. And so as a younger dude, when I was doing like all the stunts and stuff, yeah, it Danger Boy this and Danger Boy that, but the on-air use of it has really just changed, kind of matured into DB. So most people just say DB now. But I got a funny story. So I was at a house party just recently, and one of the gentlemen sitting around holding court was he was a medical doctor, like an ER doctor, and this guy, so and very like you could tell by the way this guy was sitting. I mean, and he's into backcountry skiing and spelunking and mountaineering, everything mountaineering. The guy might as well have been just wearing a Black Diamond T-shirt, and he actually did have like a funny little like European weirdo hat on, and this guy so another lady at the party had listened to me at the top 40 radio station that I used to work at, and she just like, Danger Boy, this is Danger Boy, introducing me to people, and this doctor just loved saying it because like he's a middle-aged dude. To be honest, I think he was probably younger than me. But so here I am, middle-aged guy, and he's like, "Oh, Danger Boy. Hello, Danger Boy. I've never met a radio disc jockey." So it's funny, I wear it as a badge of honor because I've worked at the same place for 26 years, and I'm real proud of the work that I've done so far.
As you should be.
But it is funny. It is funny, you're middle-aged guy, and sometimes people will say, "Hey, Danger Boy," and it hits the room weird. So I get it. Everyone, I get it. I do get it. But we just say DB now. That's kind of how that all started. I hope that wasn't too long of a.
Oh no, hell no, that's great.
I loved it.
That's great. Does your wife call you DB too?
No, she calls me. She calls me Patrick or shithead or needle dick. That's a favorite of hers.
She's a saint, isn't she?
She's a really great lady, and
nice.
That's awesome.
She's really great. We got a great marriage. Actually, just yesterday we just celebrated 18 years of being married, and
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
hell yeah!
I love her to death. I love her to death. It's a good feeling. I feel like I'm one of those lucky dudes that I'm like, okay, there's no way I could have done any better than this. We maxed it out,
Yeah.
We played a great hand. So
that's awesome.
She's a great lady.
Does it bug her that you're in the public spotlight and she talks about, or you talk about her, or she gotten over that over the years?
She doesn't. She doesn't care at all about what I talk about on the air, because she's totally.
I'm not listening.
Well, she doesn't listen, and she really never did. She's kind of a hippie, little bit of a more. My humor's too lowbrow for her, really. No, she doesn't care. She doesn't care what I do or what I talk about on the air, but she just does not like being a part of it. She's not an extrovert kind of person, and so when I ask her to like shoot videos or stuff, or record any audio or anything for the air, she's always real reluctant, and she doesn't want to be a part of it. She loves it for me, but she doesn't want to be a part of it.
Teach their own.
Nice.
My wife's the same way. Yep.
Yeah.
Just don't include me, fucker.
Yeah.
You're embarrassing enough for both of us, babe.
Yeah.
Don't bring me into this. Get a code name, please.
Yeah. She doesn't need she'll say she doesn't need I don't need the constant validation.
Good for her. Good for her. Yeah. Nothing like somebody that knows exactly what they're worth. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, she's great. She's very supportive, of because my schedule is weird, dude. So, she's really cool about everything and helping me out. And I'm kind of a weirdo about how I need everything to be around the house. Kind of surrounding my morning ritual. So, but she's cool about everything, man. She's great. Like I said, she's an angel.
Yeah, sounds like you really don't deserve her, right?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
You better hold on.
I invite anyone to try.
So, what does DB's day start like at work? I mean, do you have to get up at 2:30 in the morning and go to work? Or?
Dang.
I do get up about 3:30. My first alarm goes off a little bit before 3:30. I am guilty of. I need multiple alarms, and So my first alarm goes off at 3:30. I stumble into the kitchen and I get some coffee. I'll be honest with you. Time of the morning can be a very emotional thing.
Right. I can see
it
why.
really can.
Yeah.
And especially, when the years and years stack up. Like some mornings, and I mean this, I'll let it all hang out here. Some mornings, I'm just like, oh, fuck. and usually about through when I'm halfway through my first cup of coffee, by the time I got a foot in the shower, I'm like, okay, I start feeling the juice, I start feeling the love, and then I'm able to find my groove.
Get your mojo.
And then I just gather my stuff together. I get into the office as early as I can, and I'm collecting news stories and, show prep type stuff always. But Hooker and I get in there in the studio to Rock 106.7 and, we just start looking at news stories, printing stuff out, talking about what we're going to put together for the day and the week. And, sometimes there's longer term stuff, but, then we hit the air live at 6 a.m. and we're on here in Salt Lake. And I'm really proud to say that we're on at Rock 103 and, the great city of Memphis, Tennessee, too.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Well, you're also out here in the Uinta Basin. I stream you guys live.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And we appreciate the shit out of that. Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. Do you guys get to pick the music that you play?
We do not. And really, that hasn't been a thing for most DJs. I'd really... If I met a colleague, like a fellow broadcaster who really did act like he, picked, I mean, no, but dude, for the most part, I'm not aware of many people that do anywhere. It's all pretty handed down from above. And, there's research and stuff like that goes into it, obviously. So no, occasionally you'll be able to, decide between this song or that, but no, we don't get to pick the music.
So you're not going to be listening to your Tool online all the time, huh?
We're playing a couple Tool songs now on Rock, but dude, I do love Tool.
I know you do.
I struggle to decide what I think am I a bigger Pearl Jam fan or am I a bigger Tool fan? And I think my Pearl Jam love is really mostly invested in the album 10, but I'll tell you what, man, everything that Maynard and Tool and even Perfect Circle and gosh, how many projects is that guy a part of? I think that guy's just the evil genius of rock and roll and
Green Jelly.
Maybe the Mozart of our time, man. He's amazing. I think Lateralis was such a great album. I still listen to that every week with that. There has not been a week since that album came out that has gone by that I haven't listened to that. Almost that whole album every week.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome. Dave Mustaine's coming out with a new album with Megadeth too, I hear.
Dude, okay. I'm like, I can't wax intellectual about Megadeth, but I get it, and I think I just wasn't their last album had the Samurai on it, right?
I think so.
Yeah, no, I got into that. But Megadeth, for me, I acknowledge Megadeth's greatness, but for me personally, it's just never been my full stride.
Okay,
It's not my biggest flavor. Yeah.
Yeah, same. He was on the back burner. We listened to one album in, I think, Countdown to Extinction through high school. That's about it. And
God, we're old.
Yeah.
goddamn old
We're old.
bastards.
Well, but dude, you know what? But I'll say this, and I think it bears mentioning in a brief conversation about music. Megadeth T-shirts have always, when I look back through the slideshow of my life, my memory,
Right.
there has always been Megadeth T-shirts
Always.
somewhere around.
You still see
They
them.
hunt with- yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Megadeth, Def Leppard,
Right.
Misfits. We got Misfits out
I
here.
have Misfit in the arcade for sale up there.
That rocks.
Def Leppard's got new music right now that's great.
Nice.
Really?
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I wasn't a
Yeah.
huge Def Leppard fan, and I'm probably going to get shot for that, but I figured a lot of their music sounded the same from album to album, but their shirts were cool. So were Iron Maiden.
I went to concerts and I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Did
so
you?
I'm just
Oh,
gonna
you're a
say
chick
it.
as well.
I was in the 7th grade, and I sat on the phone with my girlfriend Sarah for 4 hours when we called KCPX Power 99 to request Love Bites.
Yes, Stevie. Yes, I remember those days.
And I sat for hours just near the radio with this girl I was dating
Because
at the
it
time.
must be love.
So yeah, and we just waited for our song on KCPX.
KCPX.
Oh my gosh, those are the days. I don't care what
Power
anyone's.
99.
Yeah, those were the damn days.
Shout out to Sarah. I'm sad I was too young to hit it, Sarah. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Sarah.
I'll bet you the biggest pain in the ass you guys have on the radio station is probably when you guys do contests and caller number 9 and things like that. Does it annoy you?
No. I love contests, and I love because the listener should get something, right? I mean, that's kind of the fun of radio. That's the magic. That's part of the that's what makes the radio station of your choice.
Right.
That fits your life and your music and your hopefully taste in comedy. That's how that radio station can be, a part of your life in that way, because your radio station is going to be talking about and promoting events that are relevant to you. And
right.
it's another way to connect with the listeners. And, like we're giving away this week Joe Rogan tickets, and that's a show I would go to. I'm sure that's a show you would go to. So I love it. It's just one more thing that we that work there and the people that list. It's one more thing we agree on. So
hell yeah.
I love and it helps people. It helps bring more people to the show, and it's fun. I love giving stuff away. I got no problem with that. And dude, people win shit. Like, there are people that put their minds to it and listen to radio and play the contest.
That's awesome.
With Mike Singletary intensity, and they win shit. Like, they win enough stuff that they have to claim it on their taxes and stuff. I know one listener that I can think of who has won 2 cars and a motorcycle.
Whoa.
Hell yes.
Off the top of my head. So and people here locally win money with us. We're doing our inflation compensation right now, and the
world needs that right now. I mean, I love that.
If people, there are people, I could say their names, but I wouldn't because I'm so familiar with. There are people that put their mind to it and they win shit, and it adds up.
Yeah, it does. Everything adds up now.
I'm usually the guy that stays online after I know that there's the 9th call's been through, and I keep calling you guys.
That's all right.
Just to hear your voice.
Not because like, oh, just to listen. Well, hey, that's all right.
It's like, I talked to DB today.
I got to hear his voice in the phone.
I don't. We can have a quick private moment. No big deal. I don't mind.
So here, I have a question for you, DB. Have you ever been like in a situation, I'm sure you have, but has everyone been talking about you and they didn't know that it was you? Because, they just know your voice. But like, have you been in the room and everyone's talking about you and you're like, that's me, but you didn't tell them? Like, and you just sit to listen what they have to say?
No, well, I personally, I'm trying to think because I've never, I've never been around to like hear people directly talk about like, oh, I'm a famous person eavesdropping on people talking about that. Has never happened to me.
Okay.
But I do have, from time to time, like I just got my haircut this week.
Okay.
And the lady who cuts my hair texted me afterwards and said that the woman next to her in their building could like recognize my voice and came over, and she enjoyed this one like bit that we had been talking about earlier like that day. And so that kind of thing will sometimes happen.
That's
and
cool.
That's all right. But if I overheard people talking shit, I'd just leave. I'd be so scared.
You wouldn't? I'm surprised by that.
Well, it's not like I wouldn't confront someone. It'd be like, well, let's say so someone's like, oh, I heard this jagoff on the radio today talking about whatever, and this numbnut seems to think that blah blah blah. The yakky. No, I would. I don't know. No, I almost got in a fight in a Chili's once. So I don't know. Maybe I think I would probably just tuck tail and run. I don't know if I could. Maybe that's why I'm on the radio, because I can't handle real life confrontation.
That's why we started the podcast.
Yeah. It's my passive aggressive way to say fuck you to the world.
Yeah. But you can't say it to my face.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm terrible. Well, and that being said, though, and I don't know if it's in the bonus material, but like we talked about earlier, dude, I do. I am one of those people. I have a temper. I fly off the handle. I do. So I don't know. Anything can happen, man.
Danger boy.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
You did have a podcast with Budda. Is it on hold? Or are you guys planning on returning? Because I was a listener.
Well, I appreciate that. And, that had to come to an end, man. It just, I'm not really at liberty to talk about like Budda's personal business, but
that's fine.
It just didn't work out. And we had to stop doing it because of some of the, it was creating an issue. So we had to end it. But Budda was just over here at the house just the other day. He and I remain close friends.
He's so funny.
He's you know what? He's a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
And man, I think he's really brave to just talked about the struggles that he's had lately.
Agreed.
And, it's because it's no joke, bro. Like, men have feelings. We have problems. We're not, islands.
Nope.
So yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised if Budda wasn't back on your TV here in the next little while. So
we'd love to see him.
Oh, I would. I would love to have him back.
don't anybody count out my boy Leroy, because he's not going anywhere, Utah.
Well, if he's listening, we are rooting for you. We love you.
Yeah.
Shout out to
dude,
Budda.
that guy's got so many people. Everybody should have as many friends as B, dude. That guy is beloved in Utah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love to hear it. On your DB and Budda podcast, you brought up the Salty Sex Cast. My mind was blown after that. I've learned so much about sex. Yeah.
Hey, Quinn, share with us something you learned.
Oh, God.
Oh, man, I learned about polyamorous. I never knew anything about polyamorous. And
It's nuts, right?
Yeah, I heard about polygamy and things like that. The only thing that I really wanted to know is who actually, where's the bank account? Do they mutually share it, or do they have individual bank accounts after they get hooked up?
What you mean? Like we're like a husband and two wives?
Yeah.
Well, obviously the husband has the bank account, Quinn.
Duh.
Well, the other lady usually is married too. So it's like two marriages. And I learned that from Mariah. And you have a connection with Mariah, don't you?
Yeah, Mariah's husband, Justin, is a good friend of mine.
I'll be damned.
And by extension, I happen to be friends with Mariah as well, of course. And I love what Mariah and the Salty Sex Cast, I love what they're doing. I grew up in the religion around here, and I grew up with a lot of shame around
Right.
sex, and I don't think that that's a good thing. I think sex and our pee-pees and our poo-poo, all of our milk lemonade, we should learn about it and not be afraid of it. And I think she's doing the Lord's work, Mariah, in the Salty Sex Cast.
I think she's doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, I feel like you should get to be who you want to be, and if someone's offended, don't listen then. But everybody else should have the opportunity to hear it if they want to. And so, yeah, I commend her greatly for sure.
Well, dude, there's stuff out there that people need to know, and there's attitudes that like demonize porn and like I learned some wackadoo stuff about who is actually watching certain types of porn, listening to that podcast, and it opened my mind, dude. If something can't be talked about, that's not good.
You're right. And here's the thing, too, is that we cannot keep pretending that shit is not happening. It's happening.
Yeah.
No.
Everybody's doing everything, everywhere. And you know what? But also, I'm one of these people that, like, with certain things, like, I am a very open-minded person, but there's some stuff nowadays that I'm like, all right, it's enough already.
Exactly.
When you're offending me, whoa.
No, I'm not offended by anything or anybody. I got nothing but love for everybody.
Right.
But for some shit nowadays, I'm just like,
We're all that way.
I'm getting a little creeped out.
all right, fuck, not that interested.
Well, shout out to Mariah out there. Listen to that Salty Sex Cast. Broncos, Russell Wilson. I wanted to ask you, I know you're a diehard Broncos fan. How do you feel about Russell Wilson?
I could not be happier with that whole situation.
Oh, I agree.
I could not be. I went to a Bronco game last year, and I wish I'd held on to my Columbus travel voucher and gone this year.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. But I'm stoked on the Broncos, and I'm stoked on, dude. So just now, I was actually just talking about this with my wife, just like maybe yesterday, but just now. So the NBA Finals are done, and now we're in that lull.
Yeah.
Well,
Mow the lawn, lol.
Well, that's just that slow part of the year where, baseball's just at a nice simmer. But, the Stanley Cup just wrapped up. The NBA Finals are over. So now we're in now we get to just, and I encourage people to sit in the sports boredom.
Yeah.
Just sit with it. because in a few weeks, football will kick back up, and then, we start this whole vicious cycle again. And, I mean, for God's sakes, I'm even watching March Madness now. I mean,
that's called old age.
Well, the sports never ends. It never ends. So, yeah, I'm stoked on Russ and the Broncos, and I'm glad Jerry Jeudy didn't seem to get into too much trouble with that baby mama of his.
Yeah.
But no, I'm stoked. I can't wax intellectual about like roster moves and what plays I believe they should be calling. But I'm gonna go with heavy on the pass, Russ. And I wish the Broncos nothing but luck. And if we'll see what happens. Maybe I'd be down. It's about the old lady. She's a ball buster. All right. I'd buy a lot more shit and do a lot more things if it wasn't for the old ball and chain.
The old ball.
Reining it in. Yeah. but I'm to answer your question, I'm stoked on Russell Wilson. I don't think that could have worked out better for the Broncos. And I would have, because I tell you this, if Aaron Rodgers had gone to the Broncos, I would not have watched one game with that ass hat.
He's a salty.
He's a bitch. He's a crybaby. He's one of these people. Like, I guarantee that he's just, dude. How can you not be happy with your life? How are you not happy? I don't know. He strikes me as a very smart. Well, and now we know he's a liar too.
Oh yeah.
Now we know he's a liar too.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, no. Russ so positive. I wouldn't have watched one pass if it had been Aaron Rodgers. Go Broncos.
And go Broncos, go Broncos. I'm a Niner fan, and do you have an analogy on what you think will happen with Jimmy Garoppolo?
Dude, I think if you can't get what you're already, Jimmy Garoppolo's got to be, I would approach that from like a real estate point of view. If you're not going to get what they really got to get a good trade for him. But I think I know this sounds dumb, but I think he's kind of lucky. So as long as his shoulder gets better and he can throw, I don't think keeping him is the worst thing that ever happened, unless something really great sits on your face and you get just a killer offer for him, and then take it. But I like Jimmy G.
I do too.
I like that he's handsome and he knows it, and he's like, and
good-looking guy.
He's a good-looking guy.
I love that. I love people that, dude. Being good-looking is a blessing. Enjoy it.
Hell yeah.
Amen.
It brings good sports fans.
It keeps the wives from bitching. You know?
Like, you watch Jimmy G again? Yep.
It's okay. Leave it on this channel. I like him.
He's dreamy.
My old lady, Nicole and I watched the Christian McCaffrey 500-yard Stanford game, and my wife fell in love with Christian McCaffrey while he was still in college, and she's been watching him ever since. And bro, some of these dudes. I hear some guys talk about UFC players being in the best shape of any athlete. Get out of here. You're high. Some of these NFL athletes, bro, are like, they are the Ferraris of men. And I love the sport. And Jimmy G, dude, he's nailing porn stars. How do you not love the guy? He's good for. I say Jimmy G is good for business. You hold on to him if you can.
With both hands.
I agree.
With both hands.
I agree. Well, we don't want to take up all your time.
No. Hey, I really enjoyed it. Thank you for your support out there. And I'm going to hold on to your number. And if I can work something out, I want to come out and see what's up. I got a couple days off this
Promise
summer.
us. Come. It's fun. We'll make it worth your while.
I'm not gonna make any promises right now. But I'm gonna stay in touch with you guys, and I appreciate your time and your support. And I love local fun podcasts. I think it's a great way to be involved in your community.
Yeah.
Oh, we're having fun.
Yeah, we are.
We're rocking the boat out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you guys You guys, you give them hell, and thanks for having me. You guys have a great evening.
Thank you.
Where can we find you, DB?
Oh, you go to Rock 106.7 here in Salt Lake City, Rock 103 in Memphis, and just hit us on Hooker and DB on Facebook and Instagram, or, hit me up on my personal Facebook page, too. It's DB Patrick Essex.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you for being with us. This is episode 86, and we're out of here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bye.
Hey, take it easy.
Yeah.